Good evening. My name is Chris Vitale, and I am the advisor of the Cape May chapter of the National Honor Society here at Lower Cape May Region. For the past 16 years, every senior at Lower Cape May has been given the opportunity to write an essay honoring the educator that has impacted them the most throughout their educational career. From elementary school teachers to middle school teachers to high school, from coaches to dance instructors to guidance counselors, countless educators have been honored by our graduating LCMR seniors. This year, while the ceremony is different, the honor remains the same. 22 students have nominated 20 different educators for their passion, for their empathy, and for their hard work. While I'm incredibly proud to call many of these teachers my colleagues and friends, I'm even more proud of the seniors whose character, strength, and resiliency have truly shown through during these unprecedented times. Now, enough of the prelude. Hopefully you all ordered your favorite takeout, charged your streaming device, and are excited for the 17th annual Most Influential Teachers Ceremony here at Lower Cape May Region. Without any further ado, let's do this.
It's faster. They don't give me enough time to explain this. I hope you understand, but words really can't describe how thankful I am that I got you as a teacher freshman year and that you came into my life. Had it not been for you, I wouldn't have had the opportunities to work with 101.5. I wouldn't have the opportunities to discover my natural talent of my voice and everything about it. It's all thanks to you. You're the reason Major Tom was created. It's because of you that I have these experiences, that I have all this knowledge, that I'm able to apply it to my life to become successful, to become an individual that I would say I'm proud of, that you are proud of. And honestly, Ms. Vassar, you believe in me. I believe in you. Thank you. I wish I had longer than a minute because honestly, you deserve it at a minimum an hour. But we don't have that time, so.
I first met this teacher my sophomore year when I was struggling both mentally and academically. He seemed friendly, but I was guarded and unsure of him. Unfortunately, I did not have him as my own teacher until my junior year. Many people had told me what an amazing teacher he was, but I hadn't heard a lot about teachers before, so I was doubtful that he could live up to his own reputation. A week into my first class with him, I can most certainly say that he lived up to this expectation. He was the first teacher that completely understood me for who I really am, with no judgment involved. It was obvious that he respected every single student, whether they were at the top of their class or someone he had never taught before and they were just stopping in to say hello. He listens and cares about every single student that attends LCMR, whether he is their teacher or not. And he sure did end up listening to me more than he should have had to. We bonded over field hockey, a game that we both love. He always supported me both on and off the field and taught me to never stop working towards my goals and what I believe in. I'm forever grateful for the kindness he showed me, along with the laughter that we shared. All of these reasons are why Mr. Belasco is my most influential teacher.
This person has been most influential to me since 7th grade, the first time I met her, and I could not imagine what my life would be like today without her. This is someone who I look up to constantly and picture myself being like when I am older. She has taught me so much about myself that I would have never known. Thank you for being a best friend, therapist, second mother, role model, teacher, travel buddy, and especially a coach. Thank you for helping me find my passion when it comes to athletics. You pushed me, even when I thought I was dying, to new limits and helped me find my confidence. You taught me how to be happy and continue to push through because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. The amount of things we have been through together could write a book, but for that I am so grateful. You have never left my side, no matter how crazy the challenge might be. You always put others before yourself, and I yell at you sometimes for it, but you showed me that genuine, kind people exist in this world. I'm going to miss seeing you every time I look over on my sidelines next year, but I will always carry your strong willpower with me. Coach Jo, you are a beyond amazing person, and I cannot wait to see the amazing things you continue to do for LCMR. I'm excited for next year, but I will never forget the last 4 and who shaped me into who I am today. I will hold these lessons you taught me and memories we have together in my heart forever, and I cannot wait to make many, many more in the future. Love you, Jo Muff.
High school is like a roller coaster ride. Sometimes roller coasters make you feel sick and dizzy, but the thrill makes it worth it. The memories that I made in high school are memories that I will never forget. But most importantly, high school taught me about who I am and how I want my future to look. A large part of who I am are the amazing role models that I had while I was at Lower Cape May Regional High School. Whether it was teachers, guidance counselors, or coaches, I've had the opportunity to have some amazing people shape my high school experience. Today I'm honored to say that my most influential teacher is none other than Miss Z. Z, you have been a coach and a role model and a friend to me since my first day of walking into freshman year. And the lessons you taught me not only made me a better swimmer in the pool, but also a better person. Your kindness is inspiring and your smile is contagious. Your pre-swim meet pep talks always made me feel better, and your words of encouragement never failed to make my day. No matter where I go in life, I know that I'll always take the lessons that you taught me with me, and I'll always remember my time with you at Lower Cape May Regional High School. I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for me and everything that you'll continue to do for me, even if you don't know it, because I'll always have a piece of you with me no matter where I go in my future. So I just wanted to say thank you for such a great 4 years. I'll always stay in touch. I'll always update you and let you know what I'm doing. And thank you. Love you, Z. I'll see you this summer on the beach.
When you are a student entering a new chapter in your life, you fear what is to come next. It is a scary transition from something you have been involved in for a long time. But that is what life is about as a scholar, adapting to the circumstances and engaging in an environment of learning for students such as myself, entering a new realm of knowledge, friend groups, and teachers. High school is probably one of the most difficult transitions for me. I was simply a girl who wanted to make a difference inside and outside the classroom, but I did not know how to accomplish that without some sort of influence. Luckily for me, I was able to find this influence quite quickly. I met this teacher my freshman year through my all-time favorite extracurricular Key Club, and from that first meeting in his hot room of C1, I knew that this teacher was going to be one of the most influential teachers I have ever encountered in my academic career. Throughout his kindness, compassion to make the school a better place for every student he meets, and his dedication to guiding the class of 2020, I would be remiss if I did not think of Mr. Vitale when I first became aware of the Most Influential Teacher Award. I am so grateful for his support in all my endeavors, his ability to put up with my craziness when I was going insane over the tiniest issue, and his enormous impact in not only my education, but the person I have grown into today compared to that shy freshman girl I once was. I know I must keep this short, so I would like to end this with a huge thank you for an amazing 4 years. And I hope to properly thank you after this pandemic is over. Kindest regards, Alexis Faison.
Ever since I was young, my parents had one rule that always stuck since I've grown up. The rule was, once you start something, you will finish it. You are not allowed to quit. I have always obeyed them until Honors Algebra 2 came my sophomore year. I was lucky enough to have Mr. Opes as my teacher. Despite this, I'm not the best at math, especially when it doesn't come easy the first time around. I cried almost every math class, and Mr. Opes will verify that. Eventually, I tried to drop it. That day I got home, and Mr. Opes was on the phone with my dad, making sure I stayed in the class. If that doesn't show you the type of person he is, I don't know what will. No matter how bad I was at math, Mr. Opes never gave up on me. He encouraged me to do my best and to never stop trying. Today, he and I still remain very close, and he is always there to make sure I am okay. Mr. Opes, thank you for being the best math teacher ever. It was never a dull moment in your classroom, and I am thankful to have had you as a teacher. By caring about his students beyond the subject matter, Mr. Opes serves as an example of how a teacher should be.
This year, I had the honor of getting to know a certain teacher who I had never expected myself to become so close with. With being unsure of what I wanted to do with my future, I turned to the school's SLE program to get a glimpse of what I might be experiencing in my future studies. And here, I met a very driven woman who again met me for the first time, who didn't stop until she found the perfect site for me to complete my internship at. Her determination in guiding me was just the start of a bond I didn't see coming, and before I knew it, she became my go-to girl, from girl talks to rants, to even teaching her 2 children, Bo and Blake, at my dance studio. I truly felt most comfortable around her. She is an underdog of the school, and she deserves all the recognition in the world. Not knowing she would nominate me for People's Choice, my decision for Most Influential Teacher was absolutely effortless. Miss Rennie, thank you for showing me independence and providing me with endless care and support. I love you, and I'm forever grateful to have met you. I will miss you the most.
Here are some things my most influential teacher taught me. Crying is okay, don't spread yourself too thin, and it's okay to give up and restart. Crying is okay. Life does not revolve around you, things are not always fair, but crying is okay. Not everyone's going to agree with you, and sometimes you have to put yourself first. As you can see, my most influential teacher has seen me cry a lot. She has never failed to make me laugh, call me ridiculous, or pull some strings to make sure I'm okay. She has always been blunt, and whether I like to hear it or not, believe me, she said it. She has never given up on me, and always seems to be cheering me on from the sidelines at anything I do. I will never forget in the beginning of sophomore year when I came to her room stressed about my future. She laughed at me and we sat there to plan my class schedule for the remaining 2 years in school. When it was time to pick my classes for junior year, she called me in for a meeting that lasted about 15 to 20 minutes for regular students, but for me, it lasted about 5 since it was already done. So thank you to Miss Markovitz, who is not really a teacher, but has taught me some of the most important lessons in life.
The most influential teacher isn't a teacher I saw in the hallways every day. She is a coach, not only in field hockey, but in life too. She's the kind of person who treats you like you're her own, and that also means repping you a new one if you need it. I'm not sure where I'd be without her in my life, on and off the field. My most influential teacher is Coach B, also known as Bracken. Coach B has been one of my biggest supporters, whether it's during a state playoff game or opening night of the spring musical. She's always been there for me, and I strive to make her proud. So, Coach B, I can't thank you enough for helping me get to where I am today, mentally and physically. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, and you helped me achieve things I never thought were even possible. I'm excited to be a Lady Cav, but I will never forget who helped me get there. I will especially miss our locker room rants after a tough loss or practice. Those lessons you taught me will be held in my heart forever. Thank you for being like a second mom to me, and I will always remember there's no crying in field hockey.
Kind, caring, and compassionate are all words I would use to describe Miss Matthews. To say that she's an exceptional person is honestly an understatement, and I immediately knew she was going to be very special to me. In the classroom, Miss Matthews truly wants every student to succeed. She works on individuals' weaknesses and turns them into strengths. Mrs. Matthews displayed her inclusiveness by taking a classroom full of different people and making us into a family. Not only did I learn more in her classroom than I did in my entire high school career, but I had fun while doing it. She maintained a perfect balance between fun and learning while also keeping up on her ongoing jokes like "so true, girl, so true." With no surprise, beyond the classroom, there is a loving and considerate person. Wherever she is, she keeps the same bubbly personality. Mrs. Matthews has been a role model to me because she is the perfect example of no matter the circumstances, you can always be kind. In such a short amount of time, Miss Matthews was still able to make a huge impact on me. Thank you for teaching me to continually work hard and to always be kind. You are the perfect asset to LCMR. I wish we could have had more time together in school, but I'm sure I'll see you around. For all these reasons, thank you, Miss Matthews, for being my most influential teacher.
We can all agree that one of the most annoying questions to be asked at a young age is, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm lucky enough to say that I had someone who helped me immensely with answering this question and made sure from the very moment I discovered my passion that I worked as hard as possible to achieve my goals. Whether it be helping me with an assignment, answering my never-ending questions about stage directions, or even letting me in for a classroom ranting session after a rough day, this teacher has always been there for me. For these reasons, and so many more, Miss Sessa is my most influential teacher. Sessa, you reciprocate my dry humor and, more than anything, understand my need to get everything just right, because I don't want to let you down. So, to the woman who has never given up on me and is the only one that I'll willingly admit might be even more sarcastic than I am, thank you. I can't wait for many more years of laughter, snarky comments, and reading positive messages from boxes of tea.
I have known who my most influential teacher would be from the day I learned about the event. When thinking of a teacher who changed me for the better and taught me life's most valuable lessons, Miss Bronson is my only choice. I moved to Cape May my sophomore year and was really nervous about leaving my small town in Northern California, specifically a class that meant the world to me, this being my old TV media class. However, upon arriving to Lower, I soon learned that I would not have to miss anything, as Miss Bronson was able to give that back to me. Not only did she give me a space to thrive, she made me confident in doing so. I've never been the star athlete or the math whiz or Miss Popularity, but LCM today gave me something to be proud of and made me feel like I was giving back to the school. Not only did she teach me every technicality about how to run the show that I could have asked for, but she taught me how to be proud of myself. The time and effort she puts into that program gave me every opportunity to show off that I needed,
and from day one at Lower to my last day, I can say that I grew to be so much more comfortable and confident as a student and as a young woman that I would not have been able to do so smoothly if it weren't for Miss Bronson. She let Ella and I get away with so much, but in doing so, she let us make some of the most memorable moments in our entire high school career. She deserves so much credit for everything she does, and I wish I could do more, but for now, all I can say is thank you so much, Miss Bronson, for not only teaching me how to work a studio and film a video correctly, but for teaching me how to love myself, be proud of my work, and have more confidence than I ever have before.
For my most influential teacher, I have chosen Mrs. Morris. She was my 3rd grade teacher at Maud Abrams Elementary School. Mrs. Morris influenced my life in more ways than I think she has ever realized. From the start, she believed in me as a student and saw something in me that even I didn't. She also first introduced me to community service and the importance of helping others, as I got to share a bit of extra time with her at K-Kids meetings and events. Heading to her classroom last year to read to her class during Read Across America Week brought back many wonderful memories that I shared with her not too long ago. She is warm, kind, and very caring, but she is also a very strong woman. She is everything you could want in a teacher and more. Her love for helping others has inspired me to do the same, so I can confidently say that she has been my most influential teacher.
My most influential goes to the teacher that has literally been there since the first time I walked into the new gym during the open house of my 8th grade year. As many of you may know, I'm a choice student, so I was very shocked to see that my name was on a poster on the wall when I walked in. This teacher immediately ran right up to me and tried to recruit me for the swim team and talked all about how my 4th grade teacher is her best friend from Margaret Mace. I felt so welcomed by her, and it's one of the main reasons I actually attended Lower for the last 4 years. I sat through many of her interesting health classes where she'd always look for me to answer questions when the room was completely dead silent whenever she even talked. I'm so grateful to have been able to be coached by her for 3 of my 4 years on the swim team, and I'm sad that she couldn't have been there for my 4th one, but I knew she was cheering me on every day. This person has always been my number one supporter, and I don't think I could have done the last 4 years without her and her very unique personality that always kept me laughing, and I miss seeing and talking to her every day. We literally talked about the most random things, and I always listened to her advice, I'm so grateful for. So to the person who has influenced me and inspired me to be myself and provided me with so much love over the years, I'm proud to say, if you haven't guessed it already, my most influential teacher goes to Miss Z. I love and miss you and hope to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Sarah McNeil, and this is my most influential teacher. So the teacher that I've chosen for most influential teacher is someone who has always taught me to never give up and to be the best I can possibly be. This teacher is by far the strongest person I have ever met, and she has always been someone I've looked up to even before I got into high school. She has taught me, among countless other life lessons, to keep pushing through all the difficult times, to stay grounded, and to remain standing tall even when others try to tear you down. For all these reasons and many, many more, my most influential teacher is Miss Chris, or as most of you know her as, Miss Fletcher. Miss Chris, your strength to overcome everything that is thrown at you is so inspiring to me, and you will always forever be a huge part of my life. I love you so, so much, and I cannot be more grateful for everything you have taught me.
In the 4 years that I've been at LCMR, I've been privileged enough to have Raymond Opes as my math teacher for half of high school. After spending countless hours in Mr. Opes' Algebra 2 and pre-calculus classes, I know firsthand how hardworking, dedicated, and caring Mr. Opes is. If someone was struggling in his class, Opes would offer additional support before school, during school, or after school. He would always take the time to answer questions over and over until everyone understood it, showing us multiple ways to solve problems in and out of the classroom. Mr. Opes embodied integrity. He always wanted students to succeed and achieve on their own, never standing for cheating. He believed that actions were equal to character and spent his time trying to build our character. He always made sure resources were available for his students despite the fact that they refused to take advantage of them. Mr. Opes genuinely cared about his students' well-being. I know this firsthand because I would eat lunch with him and a few other students. He always treated us with respect, kindness, and
and took interest in whatever we had to say, whether it was venting or asking for advice. The speech is only supposed to be a minute long, and it would be impossible to thank Mr. Opes in such a short amount of time. I am proud to say I had a teacher like him.
Alright, hi, it's Destiny, and this is my most influential teacher video. Ever since I first heard about the most influential teacher assignment in freshman year, I knew exactly who I was going to write about. The following years I experienced in high school only solidified that. I've had many teachers in my life who have helped me and assisted in shaping me to be the person I am today. But this one woman became like a second mom, someone I could go to at all times, someone who cared deeply about my well-being, someone who helped me make it through high school. This woman is Kelly Kennedy. I've known Kelly for longer than the 4 years we spent together in LCMRs, and she's also a teacher at Jo McLaughlin Dance Studios, the place other than my own home that I've grown up at. Before even entering high school, I was already a bit comforted knowing that I would have a class with a familiar face there to greet me. Advanced dance in the auditorium became my safe haven amongst the brick walls of the school. It was a place where I knew I was welcome. For both my junior and senior year, I had 2 periods of advanced dance, but even still, any possible chance I had, I somehow made my way down to the auditorium. Whether I needed to just rant or chill out for a minute, Kelly was always so welcoming, always prepared with a new Todrick Hall music video or funny dance memes, always ready to tell me what leftovers she was eating for lunch that day, always ready to let me use her spare perfume so I could smell like a Tahitian island dream. Thanks to Kelly and her consistent support, I made it through all 4 years of high school. You can ask her yourself, she's seen me at my absolute worst as well as my best. From giggling uncontrollably in Mr. Mathis's old chair, which I claimed as my own for my time in LCMR, to collapsing on the floor in sobs, Kelly has been there with me through it all. She's educated me on not only dance lessons, but health and life lessons too. She's helped me blossom into the person that I am today, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that. I could talk for hours about all of the memories I have created with Kelly that I will remember forever, but I think you get the point. Mrs. Kennedy, thank you for hanging up my artwork and post-it notes. Thank you for accepting my broken snow globe. Thank you for being my school mom. Thank you for letting me play hide and go seek after we exercised. Thank you for actually chasing me to get me to run faster. Thank you for caring about me, for sharing stories and creating new ones. For one final time, toodle.
My most influential teacher was lucky enough to never have me as an actual student, but she has been my advisor, coach, role model, and best friend for 4 years. We may not have always been getting along, but D1 was my go-to in LCMR. And if my teachers thought I was actually in the bathroom for a half hour, they are nuts. I've been dreading having to write this speech, knowing what must come along with it. The end of what feels like a short 4 years together. I can never begin to thank you enough for all of your support through school, sports, multiple injuries, high school drama, and so much more. I'll miss it all so much and will always regret not saying good morning every day. I wish I knew the last time I walked out of your room that I would never be back. Even though everybody should already know who I'm picking, my most influential teacher is a woman that I will never forget, Miss O'Donnell.
I first met my most influential teacher at an LCMR open house when I was an incoming freshman. I was looking around at the sports stands trying to figure out how I wanted to fill my winter season. When I got around to the swim stand, I was greeted by a crazy lady holding a bowl of Swedish fish, claiming that I looked like I could be a great swimmer. Little did I know that everybody that has ever talked to this lady that doesn't do a winter sport is told that they could be an incredible swimmer. I would soon find out that she would be a huge supporter of the soccer team and be the person that teaches me how to actually swim. Over the years, I've learned that she is one of the most strong, compassionate, and kind-hearted people I've ever met. She's done nothing but help and encourage me through high school in any way possible. If it's not obvious by now, Miss Z, you are my most influential teacher. Thanks for all the laughs, especially in the coaches circle, for always having my back and just being yourself. I don't know what I would do without you.
So, as a freshman at Lower, I always remembered seeing the upperclassmen having these strong bonds with their teachers, and I also remember feeling really excited for my next 3 years, hoping that I would also become really close with a teacher. But after my first 2 years, I was almost positive I would not be making this speech right now. Like, I did not connect with my teachers in ways that I thought I would. And then my junior year came and I was mistakenly put in an art class, which is very confusing for me because I am in no way a visual artist. Like, I am the complete opposite of that. But Miss Christiani has truly taught me what it means to be a good person, and that means so much more to me than just teaching me how to paint, which I still cannot properly do no matter how hard I try, but that's okay. But in all seriousness, I am forever grateful for the times that I've spent with her in that room, and I'm grateful for the amount of time she has gone out of her way for me just because I was having a bad day. Now I keep dreading the day that I'm at college and I really want to cry, but I can't because there's not an art class for me to cry in. But until then, Crust, thank you for being my rock these past 2 years. I would not be the person I am today without you. Also, Crust, I'm sorry that I'm sunburnt in this video. I swear I put on the sunscreen that you gave me. I just didn't reapply. But that's my fault. But yeah, thank you for everything, Crust. I love you.
The teacher I picked for my most influential teacher award is Mr. Polo. I picked him because he's a teacher who always went out of his way to put a smile on someone's face, and he tried his best to help every one of his students to understand math. Another reason I picked him is because even when I wasn't doing my best in his class, he went out of his way to always try and help me find extra help and to go out of his way to give me the extra help I needed. Mr. Polo also inspired me to never give up on myself. Like when I wasn't doing the best in my class and I gave up on my math skills, he never gave up on me in math, which inspired me to never give up on myself. Mr. Polo is a teacher who I will always be thankful that I had, even though I've always dreaded math class, and I think I will forever dread math class. He's someone I will forever appreciate, and I'm forever thankful for everything he did for me this year and the few short months we had together, and I am very thankful that I had him. So thank you, Mr. Polo, for everything you did for me, and you are the most influential teacher I had this year.
My most influential teacher, without a doubt, is Mrs. Bean Fox. She has always been so supportive and encouraging, giving me audition opportunities and always expressing how proud she was of me, that I've been able to represent LCMR as a vocalist. And I cannot thank her enough for everything she's done for me, my family, the music department, and of course the choir. And if it weren't for her, I would not be pursuing a career in music education, and honestly, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today. She has been there to help me through many tough times and has also been tough on me. And honestly, I'm grateful for her toughness because she's told me that is to prepare me for the situations I'll be in as a music teacher. The bottom line is I'm so grateful to have had a teacher like Mrs. Bean Fox. So thank you, Mrs. Bean Fox, for everything, for making me a better musician and a better person.
If there is one word to describe the most influential person in my life, it would be a motivator. Every day, this person has pushed me to my greatest potential and encourages me to go beyond my limits to experience the most within the world. She has watched me grow and develop into the person I am since the day I was born, and she has given me so much along the way, even though she deserves so much more than what she has been given. She has helped build my confidence level and has always taught me to speak up for people that cannot, and even speak up for myself to have my voice be heard. Even though we might not always agree about everything that happens, I know she has my back at the end of the day and will always be there for me. There are a lot of people who aspire to be her and notice the little things she does for so many people without many people even knowing. She wants the best for every student at LCMR and will stop at nothing to help everyone reach their greatest potential. We started the Lower Cape May regional journey together at the beginning of 7th grade, and I'm definitely going to miss seeing her every day at school, but she can still bother my brother in the hallway. This woman is a fierce leader and someone that I call my greatest role model in life. For these reasons and many others, my most influential person is my mother, Miss Joelle Worcester.